You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. John 15, verse 16. Good morning. And it is Tuesday, and we are on to another day, another reading, on another reflection, meditating on what it all means. Where do we lie? What should we learn? Hidden, woven within the gospel, every saying that Jesus has, every action, it all is meant to transcribe to how we should live. In Him, through Him, with Him. And so I start with Luke chapter 6, verse 12 through 19. Glory to you, O Lord. In these days he went out to the hills to pray, and all night he continued in prayer to God. And when it was day, he called his disciples and chose from them 12, whom he named apostles: Simon, whom he named Peter, and Andrew his brother, and James and John and Philip and Bartholomew, and Matthew and Thomas, and James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon who was called the Zealot, and Judas the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. And he came down with them and stood on a level place, with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all of Judea and Jerusalem and the seacoast of Tyre and Sidon, who came to hear him and to be healed of their diseases. And those who were troubled with unclean spirits were cured, and all the crowd sought to touch him, for power came forth from him and healed them all. The word of the Lord. And Jesus is preaching, as always. You had hordes of people that just blatantly knew the power that was bestowed upon him. Whether they knew he was the Lord or not, there was something about him. Whether he was a great prophet, a great teacher, or whether he was truly the Son of Man, the Son of God. The communities, uh, the swaths of peoples that spread throughout to come see him, to come hear him, to come touch him, to come be healed from all the transgressions within themselves, the unclean spirits, as it is mentioned. They came to be cured. They came to be cured of their sin. They came to be acknowledged of the presence of the Lord and to be cleansed towards a new life, to be born again, as they say, born again through the Spirit. And Jesus answered the call because Jesus was meant to answer the call. It was his responsibility to answer that call because he came for all of his peoples. Now, we can't be like Christ, but we can certainly follow in his footsteps through the actions and words that we find in the gospel, which is the account, the inspired account by men to lay it loose onto papyri, manuscript, whatever. so that we can have a physical account of the biography of Jesus's mission, ministry, his life. So, what does it say in the early part of this reading, 12 through 16, for which he went up out to the hills to pray, and all night he continued in prayer to God. Well, first off, Jesus is praying to God. I thought Jesus was God. God was praying to himself? Well, of course. The incarnate in the flesh was here on earth, but God was always in heaven. The Son was praying to the Father. The Son was in human form. The Word was revealed in flesh. So makes sense that the Son would be praying to the Father. The Father Almighty, to whom is still all aspiring and compassing within the heavenly realms. Just because God is on earth does not mean that God is not in heaven. But he was praying, and through that prayer, he was praying for the strength in whom he is to choose to pass over, to hand over the sacred traditions that would be bestowed upon them to carry out the earthly missions that succeeded Christ. Because Jesus always knew, being that he was God, now maybe not the human form, you're right, for most part, that would be a righteous idea. The human form would have to guide themselves to the necessary concept that you were meant to die. You are the ultimate sacrifice. So it is inevitable. But the divine, it was all knowing, it was inspiring. So you need to teach and to interact with those whom you know will be a chosen few that can essentially be your hand onto the next. The traditions have to be passed over. The church has to start somewhere. The foundations are built through Jesus himself. And so that is where we need to take into alignment on here that we can't go alone in anything that we do. Jesus prayed to the Father to give him strength and the ability to choose the right 12. And there's a reason for 12, 12 apostles, 12 tribes of Israel. Um, but there's a reason why Jesus asked for support, whether from his Father through prayer or gathering up a group of 12 to teach so that they may go out and do exactly what he is doing, spreading the word, spreading the gospel, the good news that the Messiah has came, the Messiah has died as the suffering servant, and the Messiah will come again as the Messiah is risen. Down the road, that will be fulfilled, obviously, with the crucifixion. But the traditions had to be built, the foundations of the church had to be confounded, and from those foundations passed over and spread and built. And it starts with the apostles as that foundation. The early church started with the foundations of the 12, and it took perseverance and guidance and support that Jesus needed to attain, whether that of his Father in the heavenly realm or the 12 that he would choose to, at a later date, when he was no longer on this earth, ascended into heaven, to continue the message and the building of the greater goodness of his word, to build the word from its foundation. And so that it goes to the responsibility of us all. Not only can we not do anything alone, we need the support. We need to ask for help. We need to be ready to ask for guidance because there are people there that know more than you and you know more than them. And so we have to balance each other out. So we need to love and support each other. We need to build a community amongst our own. And we need to take responsibility for that community, which we are not doing on this earth. In my opinion, there's a difference between community, which can be founded within the principal teachings of the church and the ethics of Christianity, the morality of Christ, of God, the objective morals that we do not live by because we perceive that everything is relative anymore. There is no right and wrong. I can do whatever I please. I think that you're bad because you're a murderer, but you think you're good because you're a murderer. But how can I stop you when you think you're killing for all the right reasons? That's stupid. This is why we need to get back to a sense of community so that we can build a foundation of culture that is more ingrained to the morality of right, wrong, the acknowledgement that there is good and evil, so that we can build upon the good and reject the evil. And yet, we're caught up into this fallacy of a social construct, a fallacy of a social contract, the creation of societies, the abnormal erosion of culture and community and love and family for that of the status agenda of satanic influences. Statism is immoral. Society is wrong. Society is not community. Society is irresponsibility because you give up your own personal authority, your autonomy of your own responsibility that you have upon yourself to others by othering. And through that othering, you get the discrimination, you get the hatred because once you give up your authority of yourself, then you are directly going against God because nobody is going to have your it's the word I'm thinking about. Nobody in their right mind is going to have your benefit in their purview because on a natural setting in our own selfish desires in a fallen world, we are narcissistic in nature. We are to preserve ourselves. But what if I tell you that in order to preserve yourself, you must love God in order to love others? And if you can't love others, that means you never loved God. And that means that you will never navigate towards the support and the relationship building in order to garnish the respectable reputation that you need in life to fulfill your needs and your purpose upon this earth. That's what it means to me when we bear the same cross as Jesus. Now, we can't physically bear the same cross. I mean, I guess theoretically we could. I mean, there are persecutions. God bless those in Nigeria and all the rest of the world, especially those who are Christian, but anybody who is being persecuted for their faith, regardless of what it is. And that goes to say to you, Christians, stop persecuting, even through the mouth. Stop persecuting those that you disagree with. Stop discriminating. Lead people to Christ. Don't condemn them because they do not know Christ. Teach them Christ. Tell them about Christ. Explain to them about Christ. Echo his love within them. Lead the Jew to Christ. Lead the Muslim to Christ. Lead the Hindu to Christ. Lead to the Buddhist to Christ. Lead the atheist to Christ. And God forbid Catholics lead the Protestant back to the true church of Christ. And stop arguing amongst each other, because it is within Christ that gives us our strength. And we need to be like Christ. And we need to ask for guidance from the Lord. And we need to ask for the support of our peers. And we need to be responsible for our actions. Be a model of Christ. Use Jesus as our model. Stop idolizing men. Stop idolizing media. Stop idolizing whatever you read, whatever you watch, whatever. Stop idolizing. Stop idolizing yourself. Humble yourself and start idolizing the one and only idol, and that is the model of Christ. Be like Jesus. Be like God. Live for your family. Live for your community through Him. But you got to get to Him. Gain access to Him. Come heart to heart with Him. Build that relationship with Christ, and you will flood the world with your own love that is Christ's love, and by building relationships with others. And from there, maybe you could heal those who are cursed with unclean spirits through the power of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art there in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And deliver us not, and deliver. I screwed up. I'm going to restart. Our Father, because I lost my place. Our Father, who art there in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And forgive, and save us. Fuck. Man, I'm forgetting the Lord's Prayer. It's early. And lead us not into temptation. There we go. I had a brain fart. And lead us not into temptation, Lord, and deliver us from evil. For the power, the kingdom, and the glory is all yours, Lord. I got tongue-tied, and I brought it back. I ran it back, and I will never, ever do that again. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for letting me spit it out, even though I screwed up your prayer that you gave to us. I am so sorry. I cannot believe I did that. Why did I have that brain fart? I do not know. I do not know. But blessed be my Lord, my King, Jesus, in your name, in union with the Father and the Holy Spirit. Thank you for letting me restart this prayer and give you the much needed praise that you need, that you are insured. For we need to worship you. We need to adore you. We need to never forget you. Because when we forget you, we forget ourselves. And when we do that, we forget about love. Go forth and love your neighbor as you would want to be loved. But do not forget that you are to love your Lord. For there is only one Lord, in three, in union, in heaven, who will come again sometime soon The future I do not know. Thank you for bearing with me, everybody. I give you back your Tuesday. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, let's all be like apostles.